Coming to you live from the MediaPlex in downtown Windsor, this is a presentation of St. Clair College Journalism.
Hi, I'm Shelby Hernandez, and you're watching MediaPlex News Now. Addictions and drug use can have serious consequences. Sean Garrity reports on one woman's struggle. Please be aware that some of the content in this story may be graphic in nature.
I went to the hospital, and I would say within 7 days from when it first showed up, I was waiting for surgery to get my leg amputated.
This is a 32-year-old Windsor woman who we've agreed to call Jenny. She asked that we not show her face or mention her real name. Jenny is addicted to cocaine and has been for 14 years.
Well, smoking weed first in high school, and then recreationally, I started dancing when I was 18, and we would do lines, and everybody else was doing lines, and before you know it, you don't want to work without doing the lines.
The cocaine she used, like most coke found in Canada, is diluted with levamisole. The cutting agent over time caused her to develop vasculitis, which eventually led to her leg being removed.
We know that the levamisole causes the vasculitis, and the vasculitis causes a very characteristic eruption throughout the body on the skin, great big red patches which become ulcers. It can cause sudden blindness, and it can affect the larger vessels, not just the small ones.
The dangerous mixture of levamisole primarily comes from Colombia. The Windsor police are not yet familiar with this, but they do know why it would be used.
One of the things that makes drugs so dangerous is that drugs on the street is that people cut them with various materials or chemicals to produce more quantity, right, so that they'll have more product to sell.
The police say cocaine is still a problem, but more often than not, they are dealing with crystal meth.
Take a little bit of my fentanyl for 1 second.
Well, crystal meth is not one of Jenny's drugs of choice. In addition to cocaine, she also uses fentanyl and numerous other narcotics.
Yeah, I still do coke, and it's so stupid and it sounds ridiculous. It's just that I feel really depressed sometimes.
If Jenny's survival depends on her getting off drugs, the chances are slim.
You know, drug addiction, it's a disease. So without the proper treatment, their disease just gets worse and worse and worse. And unfortunately, this woman with losing her leg, she doesn't have the proper treatment, so she's going to continue to use the drugs. That's the sad part.
I just wish I knew beforehand that I knew about this, and I just hope that people know that if you do coke, there's so much more to it now.
Let's go out to the corner of University in Victoria, where Alex Latrimui has an early look at the weather. Alex?
Thanks, Shelby. So as you can see, it is just gorgeous. I mean, look at this sunshine. Sublime. You'll be happy to know that it is currently 16 degrees. However, you might not be happy to know that it'll cool down to 5 by tonight. Please remember to wear a jacket. All right, that's it for Windsor's short-range forecast. Now, back to you, Shelby.
Thanks, Alex. The staff and students at Walkerville Collegiate are taking steps to remember a special colleague. Miller Hill reports.
Students and staff members at Walkerville High School are continuing to honor their former teacher, Rob Baxter, who passed away in March after suffering from a brain aneurysm. 2 weeks ago, the Baxter Memorial Project launched through the GoFundMe website. They are fundraising money with the aim to raise $20,000 by the end of the school year. Greg Dreger, a chemistry teacher at Walkerville, said the money raised will go towards establishing a scholarship and to help build a high school in Ethiopia.
50% of the money is going to go to a scholarship and a memorial in his name to give him a legacy here at the school. The other 50% is going to go towards a school in Africa. There is a foundation that actually builds schools in Africa, and they came to us before Mr. Baxter passed away, so Mr. Baxter did know about it. And basically they've offered to name a classroom after him if we raise around $5,000.
As well, in an attempt to raise money, the school is selling t-shirts with Baxter's license plate on them. On June 12th, the school will be hosting a carnival that was originally Baxter's idea. Prime Minister of Walkerville Student Council, Kara Christoph, explains why they chose Baxter's license plate to go on the t-shirts.
We chose to put his license plate on the t-shirt because, Mr. Allison and Mr. Locke, the art teacher and the media teacher, had that idea, and also because everyone knew his car by his license plate, and to a lot of us on student council, defiance for him meant that he defied, growing old, which was really cool for us, and it's a way that we all remember him.
So far, $1,796 has been raised through the website. If you wish to donate, you can visit the Baxter Memorial Project's GoFundMe webpage at gofundme.com/QCC9BBGGG. Reporting from MediaPlex News Now, I'm Miller Hill.
Cooked is a web-based series produced right here in Windsor. Chris Mayu reports.
Creators now have a chance to publish their work when they want and how they want. It used to be that you'd have to get a network to pick up your series for it to be seen, but now people can publish their work online and independently. Over the last year, Joel Boyce has worked on his series Cooked, which was filmed in Windsor.
Really an interesting time, I guess, with the technology. Web series are booming right now, and that's where a lot of people are going.
Sean Mazoka worked with Boyce on Cooked as one of the main actors in the show.
It's like the Wild West, man. Everybody's trying to figure this thing out, and it's awesome. So I love it. I think it adds layers to something that a lot of people can get on board with, and you see who your hardcore fans are that way too.
Mike Poirier from the Comic Book Syndicate said it's easier to determine the response for an online series.
You should film it, because if your idea is really good, you put it up on the internet and you'll find out very quickly how good or bad it is based on your audience's response.
People can now watch their favorite television shows on their iPads, laptops, phones, video game systems, pretty much any device they have.
With websites like YouTube, Vimeo, Hulu, Netflix, and more, one thing is for sure. People can have access to entertainment almost anywhere they go. Reporting from MediaPlex News Now, I'm Chris Mayu.
The star of Cooked, Sean Mazoka, joined us on this edition of 3 Minutes With.
Hi, I'm Sean Preble, and I'm here with Sean Mazoka, one of the lead actors for the upcoming web series Cooked. So Sean, you're starring in Cooked. Can you tell us a bit about this show?
Sure. So the show is based out of the Dominion House restaurant, which is located here in Windsor. And it's about a group of pretty close friends that all work at the restaurant. We've got a bartender, servers, cooks, the manager, gets involved, co-managers, and the show really takes a look at what happens inside the restaurant during work hours, after work hours, as well as the crazy shenanigans we get up to outside of the restaurant as well, in our own personal lives. And it's pretty cool because, the show is based essentially around the character I play, Dave Mason, but each other character that we visit is explored a little bit as well, and we kind of get a taste of what they're going through with their own personal lives. So it's pretty cool.
It sounds like it.
Mm-hmm.
Now, how did Cooked get its start?
So for me, it got its start when I was contacted by Joel Boyce, who I'm sure a lot of people here are familiar with. Joel contacted me on Facebook. He'd seen some of my previous work and had a couple of connections, so he got in touch with me to come out and audition for Cooked. And geez, the ball's really been rolling since then, but that was how I got started with it. But I think Joel personally lived a lot of the experiences, or kind of lived, maybe, allegedly, that we explore in the series. So he had a story and he wanted to get it out, so he went to work, he wrote something, he got in touch with whoever he needed to get in touch with, and now we have a series.
And how big is the cast?
In its entirety, we've had quite a few people on. We've had quite the ensemble cast, but in terms of the main characters, so to speak, I think there's 6. Yeah.
And what's it been like working with them?
Oh, just a blast. I made so many new friends on this set. It's been an amazing experience. It's great to be in my hometown, Windsor, and get to know everybody that wants to be a part of the film community here, because, we have a lot of fun. It's an awesome industry, and we're trying to develop it here. So getting to know these people and work with them regularly on a really cool series like Cooked, it was a great experience.
Okay. And I understand you started a Kickstarter campaign for Cooked. Could you tell us a little bit about that?
I didn't personally start it, but yes, we have a Kickstarter going, and the whole goal of the Kickstarter campaign is to help us finish the 5 episodes that we've already filmed and edited. So there's a lot of things that go into post-production, sound mastering, color correction, all kinds of technical things that I don't even want to wrap my mind around, but there's a lot still to do before we can get everything out to everybody. And the Kickstarter is to help us complete all of that, and anything extra, should we make any extra, would go towards making more episodes so we can get even more out there for everybody.
Okay, and where can people go to find this campaign if they want to donate?
So our main hub for information is the Facebook page, and you can find us, just search on Facebook, Cooked the Series, or Cooked Series. I'm not sure which one it is. Either or, you'll find it, and you'll find all the information on the Kickstarter page there, or you can go on Kickstarter.com and search Cooked, and you will find it there.
And the website for the main site is cookseries.com, I believe?
I think so. I'm not sure if it's live yet, but it will be soon. So stay tuned. Like I said, follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, and we'll keep you guys updated as we go.
Perfect. Well, thank you for being here today, Sean.
I'm happy to be here. Thanks for having me.
I'm Sean Prevel, and we've just sat down with Sean Mazoka, one of the lead actors of the upcoming series, Cooked.
Musicians are becoming producers, and as Justin Thompson reports, the music business is survival of the fittest.
I got a man who calls me darling. He's got a girl, a beating drum.
Local musicians hoping to get their foot in the door of the industry are helping each other achieve their goals. Catalina Cowan is a singer-songwriter from London, Ontario. She moved to Windsor in 2013 shortly after starting her solo music career. She said the biggest obstacle for any aspiring musician is not having the money.
Definitely money is a huge thing. Not everyone has like a couple grand that they can drop on not only recording costs but also pressing. So a lot of the do-it-yourself people you'll find have gotten a lot more into like downloads, free downloads, as well as just, you know, print shop kind of do-it-yourself, you know, jewel case that you buy at Staples, but they still look just as good in my opinion, ones that I've seen. And it's an easier way to get your music out there.
Cowan recorded her debut solo album Bare Bones with Kaiser Sound Productions. Josh Kaiser is an audio engineer that records vocal bands in his home studio. Kaiser said that Cowan wanted to get her music out there, and he wanted to build his portfolio to further his career.
But I just want to keep, like, you know, these musicians, I want them to go somewhere, you know what I mean? Because, like, if they don't, I don't either. And, obviously I want to open a bigger studio than this little room right here. But, yeah, without their help, I'd be, you know, stuck here, or, you know, even worse.
The two are currently working on their second full-length album together. For MediaPlex News Now, I'm Justin Thompson.
It's been such a nice day, so let's go back outside and see what Alex has to say about the 3-day forecast. Alex?
Thanks, Shelby. So as you know, things are quite lovely here, but did you know that it's still snowing on the East Coast? Well, thankfully, we won't have to deal with any of that. Tomorrow will be between a tepid 19 degrees and a shocking low of 4 with a chance of showers. Thursday will be a high of 16 and a low of 7 with more rain. Finally, Friday will be about 18 degrees and mainly sunny. So enjoy Windsor's tropical heat wave. All right, that's it for me. I'm Alex Latrimwe, standing on the corner of University and Victoria. Now, back to you, Shelby.
Thanks, Alex. Local Web TV is alive and well in Windsor, and Mike Thomas from Knockstrom Digital Media joined us in studio.
Hello, my name is Aisha Coburn, and today we're spending 3 minutes with Mike Thomas, the producer and web host of Knockstrom Digital Media. Can you explain what a day in the life of Knockstrom Digital Media is?
Oh, day in the life, actually, we can be very, very busy as far as trying to produce the web shows that we currently have, at least the Convergence Report, and also Beyond Incredible with Ashley Nicole and Shay Rochelle. On top of that, what really takes up a lot of time is the Windsor Express. So we were able to get, I'm going to say basically the live stream contract with the Windsor Express, and live stream, it's live. That's bottom line is it's live, and you're trying to make sure you have no glitches, especially when you're shooting for an outside audience that's not yourself.
And so what exactly does the Convergence Report cover?
The Convergence Report, I decided to take it like a different flavor where I try to infuse humor. I'm going to say I kind of watch Rick Mercer and 22 Minutes, so I've tried to bring a little bit of that to Convergence Report. It is a little bit politically generated, community-based. I try to make sure I do community announcements, kind of do that type of blend. I don't do weather, but I will add sports, so I try to have it that way. It's really everything I've learned. Like I was a graduate of the program in 2012, and I try to take all that with me. Hence the name, the Convergence Report, trying to build that show that way. So yeah.
And where do you guys film this?
We film it right out of the downtown Windsor Business Accelerator. We just set up and we go. Sometimes it is during the day. A lot of times our shows are kind of shot about between 5:30 and 8 o'clock at night, depending upon the producer, my co-producer schedule, Alex Diomero. So when we kind of set that time up, then we just launch and we go, and it's live. And I'll tell you, from where we started, we're looking at you just get a bunch of equipment, some cameras, and you try to make it work. We have a very, very good program now, and we've developed very well over the past couple of years. I think it's a great show to watch.
And so you said that you guys are live streaming now for the Windsor Express games.
Yes.
Is that new?
No, we've actually, what happens at the Downtown Windsor Business Accelerator is this: they are a tenant and we are a tenant. So you try to give each other opportunities. So the Windsor Express was very kind enough to give us a chance. We began to share that opportunity with WeTV, but we've had almost the main games. We've had all the playoffs for this particular season. Obviously not when they're on the road. Something like Cogeco TV, I guess, is going to be filming the next 3 games from Halifax or feeding from Halifax. But we definitely will hopefully get them back here at least for Game 6 and be able to stream them again. So yeah.
Well, thank you so much for being here with us. You can watch the Convergence Report hosted by him through the Knockstrom Digital Media on YouTube. This has been 3 Minutes with Mike Thomas.
The Windsor Express is alive and well in the NBL playoffs. Aaron Sanders reports.
Game 2 of the NBLC Finals was at the WFCU Center as the Halifax Rainmen looked to even the series up against the defending champion Windsor Express. Halifax's center Liam McMurrow was sidelined with a concussion, but the Rainmen said no problem. They led 8-0 in the first few minutes and never trailed for the rest of the game. Their forward, Tyrone Watson, finished with 16 points and 9 rebounds. Halifax coach Joseph Claro said they stayed on their goal, but there is room for certain improvements.
We didn't do anything special. Still, I think that we have to play much better. But we'll do it. We'll do it because there are a lot of things to correct for the next one.
The Express woke up in the second half. They cut a 24-point deficit to single digits thanks to Quinn Brown's 14 points. With minutes to go in the game, it was too little, too late for the Express as Halifax's defense, rebounding, and transition game captured the 100-93 victory, tying the series at 1 win apiece. Game 3 is at Halifax on April 23rd. So what will Windsor Express coach Bill Jones work on in preparation for that game?
We got to work harder on their pick and roll. The pick and roll is the element of their game. That's what they do. So we got to find a way to stop that and neutralize it, and then also their attack our offensive rebounds. We got to have guys with energy to go out there and keep them off the glass.
This series is now even at 1 game apiece, and it's a whole new ball game as home court advantage can pretty much go to anybody. Reporting from the WFCU Center, I'm Aaron Sanders. Reporting for MNN, MediaPlex News Now.
Montreal Alouettes football star has joined us live in the studio with Aisha Coburn.
Hello and welcome to another edition of Sports Talk. My name is Aisha Coburn and I'm here with defensive back Daryl Townsend. Hey, how are you?
How are you? I'm great, thank you. Thanks for having me.
So, are you from Windsor originally?
Yeah, I was born and raised in Windsor. I went to Begley Elementary School. I went to Catholic Central High School, played for the Essex Ravens, the AKO Fratman, and the University of Windsor.
And so, what do you do on your downtime?
Well, during the season, you know, I'm very busy with football and games and practices and training, meetings and film. But in the off season, you know, I like to come back to my community, give back to the kids. I run a football camp with my cousin Tyrone Crawford. We get together, NFL players and CFL players, to come together, you know, give back and tackle bullying. We use football as a vehicle for us to use to advocate anti-bullying, you know, leadership, goal setting, and perseverance. Because, you know, in the city of Windsor definitely needs it. We need some positive, you know, role models here, and I figure that being in the position that we're in, it allows us to do such a thing.
And now I heard you went to the University of Windsor. When you were there, did you ever think that you'd get to where you are now?
Yeah, I've always had the vision of being successful as a football player. You know, I always had the talent to play. I've always been a pretty good player, but once I realized that if I put the hard work with the talent, you know, I couldn't lose. And if I did lose, and if I didn't make it to where I am now, you know, I know that in my heart I put in the work and I tried my best.
Is there any advice you'd like to give to young kids hoping to be where you are?
Yeah, young kids, like if you're talented, you know, that's one thing. But if you put the hard work and the perseverance with it, never giving up, you know, sky's the limit. There's many things you can do, not even just with football. You know, any career choice you decide to go in, it's just all about hard work, not giving up, and you know, definitely believing in yourself.
Thank you so much for being here. My name is Aisha Coburn again, and I'm here with Daryl Townsend of the Montreal Alouettes.
Jerry Marentet is a power lifter that has his sights on bigger goals. Sean Garrity has the story.
I'm about winning. I want to win, so I'll do whatever it takes to win. I think about it when I wake up. I think about it when I'm watching a movie. "30 seconds when I'm at World where you're actually lifting the weights. When you stand just like 3 inches higher than another guy, and you get a medal, that's what it's all about. I plan on doing this probably like till I'm dead.
That was 320-pound Kelly Branton, the #1 powerlifter in Canada. He said a huge part of his success comes from a small gym in Lakeshore, Ontario. This is Branton's 7th year at Power Pit Gym, and in that gym, there is a man who has been involved in world-class weight training almost twice as long as Branton has been alive.
It's just an endless addiction, you know. He got caught with the iron bug when he was young, and he's still doing it in his 60s, so it's just one of those things, you know. He's never stops.
My name is Jerry Marentet. I've been competing and lifting weights in competition for 41 years.
He was very flexible, and he was very muscular. He looked like an anatomy chart. That's what I used to call him, the anatomy chart. He is tenacious. He's like a pit bull. He's very tenacious, and like most powerlifters, like every powerlifter that's been successful, you have to have a very intense, focused type of concentration so you can apply all your physical strength, all your mental awareness to that one lift in that few seconds it takes.
Marentet is one of the most accomplished powerlifters in Canada. He's broken 392 Canadian records, holds 11 world titles, owns 260 trophies, and has earned 300 certificates.
But he's done more than that. He's actually coached, he's refereed, he's done some convening, he's done organizing, all for the sport of powerlifting, which in our criteria, as we looked at Jerry as an athlete because of all his incredible accomplishments, the records that he's done competing internationally, and then we looked at what he's done as an organizer and how he's developed other kids and opened up powerlifting for the disabled and the blind.
Originally, when you go back, breaking Canadian records, then going on and breaking all kinds of world records in weightlifting. So he certainly has helped to put Lakeshore on the map.
In Oiltown, Edmonton, there's a life-size bronze statue honoring the legendary Wayne Gretzky. Like the NHL hockey player, Lakeshore is also considering a tribute to Marintet.
I don't know about a statue, but certainly something that the town will be looking at is a sign saying home of Gary Marintet, world record holder.
Today, Marintet works out with modern equipment, but it wasn't always like that.
Back in the 70s, 74, 75, I would train in the summertime on a platform in my backyard underneath a mulberry tree. Made a lot of contraptions so that I could squat and bench with.
A lot of sacrifices. I mean, I remember him being up in the attic with garbage bags and sweating.
I was training in the bedroom upstairs and I was deadlifting, and we had the tiles, the 1-foot tiles on the ceiling, and while I was deadlifting, dropping the weight, some of the tiles come off the floor. So actually I started training in the backyard for that reason.
Through his 41-year powerlifting career, he has competed in 11 different weight classes.
He went from the 14-pound class to the 123-pound class, and in this case he weighed 132 pounds. And he was training for the Worlds.
In the 114-pound class, I started breaking records. In the 123, 132, 148, 165, and 181 I did, 198, 220.
To recognize Marintet's feats and decades of excellence, he was inducted into the Windsor-Essex County Sports Hall of Fame in 2013.
When the nomination is brought forward to the board, to our selection committee, the selection committee weighs many applications that we have. We have over 150 nominated names for consideration for the Hall of Fame. Jerry's name was brought forward that year, and he was unanimous selection that year. We look at the candidate and we kind of weigh where they are and how much they've done, and it was a no-brainer to have Jerry inducted that year.
The powerlifting bug did not bite only one Marintet, it became a family affair.
I've known Jerry since I was about 18, 19, and we got married when I was about 21, and he's always powerlifted, and he tried getting me into the sport. I did lift a few years and went to the Worlds.
My wife's side, the 2 brothers did, and herself, and on my side, my sister, my wife, and my son. My granddaughter's playing a little bit with it now.
How old is she?
She is 11 years old.
My grandpa convinced me into trying it, and then I ended up liking it.
Hello? Oh, my son from China. Okay. Hi, son. How you doing? Are ya? Right now I'm in the gym. Fellas here, what are you? Doing a little story on me. This is a documentary on me. Been here, I think, 3 times in the last week. So, trying to. Right now, I'm in the gym with him, and he's taking pictures of trophies. And I told him you had gone to the Worlds also. Powerlifting is the strongest sport in the world.
I'm Shelby Hernandez, and you've been watching MediaPlex News Now.